I'm Andy Mack from Akai Professional. I'm on djkit TV at the Namm 2012 show, and we are at the Akai stand looking at all of our new products this year. Now, if you haven't heard the news, then you haven't been on the planet. Now, what we've done, we've relaunched our new range, which brings the MPC technology into the computer domain, which a lot of people have been waiting for. Now, I'm gonna take it from the entry level, which is the MPC Fly. Now, the concept behind this is having a application that physically isn't a game or an app that you just play with. It's actually something that you can actually make music with and continue that by importing the project into our other MPC software. So basically what it is, it's an iPad case integrated with aluminium casing pads with the transport control of the MPC, with all the other hot features like 16 levels, full control, track, mute, track repeat, time correction, integrated into a real slick iPad app, which is generating a very similar software like on the MPC 2000 XL. You'll be able to access your iTunes library, sample from your iTunes library, and then slice the samples and put them to the pads. You can also import your own samples via iTunes and then export the whole project out and then put it into either the Renaissance or the Studio. So it gives you the ability to make professional music wherever you are. Now, one thing you need to know is that the case itself has a lithium battery inside, which will charge the controller and charge your iPad. So it will give you a really strong, healthy battery life, probably up to about 12 hours. So when you are traveling around the world, you can take this device with you and really get some serious work done. Right, okay, so this is our flagship. This is the MPC Renaissance. Now, the concept behind this was to give all the MPC users around the world a device that they can walk up to and know exactly where they are, and taking the technology into the computer domain. So they can actually physically run this inside their DAWs or as a standalone piece of software. It's not a standalone piece of hardware. So as you can see, we've gone back to the classic design. We've got the MPC 3000 control panel here. We've got the F1 to F6 key hotkeys. We've got 16 levels, arrays, note repeat, and the MPC 3000 screen layout. So you can your workflow can either be done from the screen or be done from the laptop. Now, one thing we put on here, we put this thing called vintage mode. And vintage mode works from the A to D, D to A's that we've got inside here, which are the same very DAs that are on the MPC 3000. Now, what happens is when you hit this mode, the DAs kick in, and they basically change the sound source to give you more punch around about 100K on the bottom end, and give you some more punch on the tops, which will give you that same exact sound. And then you hit the button again, the unit then goes 12-bit mode, which then gives you the same exact sound as the MPC 60. And then you have other, which we will leave to people's imagination what that will be. So how does it integrate? Basically, we have the software on the screen here, which represents everything that I'm doing here on the screen. So I can hit one pad, I can go to my program edit, I can layer 4 samples per pad just by selecting my sample either from the keyboard or from the controller. And then once I've sculptured my sound, I can then I can insert up to 4 plugins, which could be AU, VSTs or RTAs. So if you've got some UADs, some WAV plugins, you can load them per pad. If you want to mix your drums more on a bus style of drumming, you can do it per program by going into program mix. And if you want to insert your plugins per track, we can just go to our hold shift and go to track mix, and now we can do it per track. So when you're trying to really make your drums sit in the mix, you don't have to bounce everything down now. You can do so much of this internally. But if you do want to bounce, we can just go to here, export, audio mix down, and we can now separate each track in whatever file format we want, and then take it straight into Pro Tools or straight into Logic, and then you can carry on your mix straight to your board. other things that we've done, we can go to our sample edit. We can look at our samples and we can control everything straight from the Q-Link. Now the Q-Link will control everything we do. We can assign effects, we can assign filters, but it's all done from the Q-Link here. So that is a quick walk around the MPC Renaissance. Okay, so this is the MPC Studio. Now this runs on the same software, but it's a much more condensed down unit. It's very slim, very slick, very chic, very futuristic. Now, the nice thing about this piece, again, you come up to it and the workflow is the same. We've got the same transport, we've got all the dedicated MPC features, note repeat, arrays, 16 levels, full levels. We've got 8 banks here of assignable for samples, but also everything can be run from the screen on here or from the laptop. We've got Q-links here for trimming samples, filtering, panning, everything you want. This baby's USB powered as well. You can just put it in the studio, put it on top of your board, put it in your bag, take it on a flight. You know, it's a real great piece of kit, and it takes the MPC experience into the digital world and gives new users all of our classic features that have been renowned for so many years.